This is for Year 12 Methods that comes out of the Technology Masterclass number 19, which is in a set of questions about finding it difficult to see the graph. Okay, population of bees, newly built hive follows this rule. So this is the number of bees in the hive. Find the number of bees rounded to the whole bee, initially 5 weeks and 50 weeks. So a bit of an indication there of my domain that I should consider, because they're telling me to look up to 50, 5, and initially means 0. So I need those three, and I need to be able to enter this into the calculator. And this is where the tricky thing happens. So it's going to equal 200. Then I need to open up a bracket. And I'm going to use this bracket because this will give me this bracket here. And inside the bracket I need a fraction. And then after the fraction I need my plus 1. So be careful that you get the construct correct. So in here I'm going to have e to some power minus 4. And on the bottom I'm going to have e to some power, and that power is going to have a fraction. So notice I'm setting it up with all of my fractions and bits and pieces to start off with, so that I don't get confused and I don't get my -4 and my +1 in the wrong spots. So notice that I can see the structure of what's going on. Now in the top I've got x plus 8. Don't use t in this particular case because I want to graph this. I want to drag and drop it. T plus 8 over 8, and that's the same on the bottom, x plus 8 over 8. And that's done. So when I go exe, it cleans it up for me. So if I open up my window and I go edit clear all, I know that I need to go from 0 up to 50, but I might go up to 100 or even 200 and see what actually happens. And I grab it and I drag and drop. Now what I'm going to do is to go zoom auto, and lo and behold I can see that I get this graph happening like this. So if I choose say 250, I'll make that 0. I probably don't have to go as far, maybe 100, but my minimum I'll make back at 0 again, and my maximum, that was 400, so I might make that 450, because execute, okay. I can see that this is becoming asymptotic, and I think this asymptote is approaching 400 because before it was 399. So if I do analysis trace, I can see that this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is approaching 399.7, 399.8, 39. I think there's an asymptote up there at 400. And if I go analysis gsolve y-intercept, I can see that I start at 105.69. So I've got this thing happening. I've got an asymptote at 400, and that seems to be at 100. I'm going to the nearest bee, round populations to whole bees, so it's going to be 106. So how much initially? 106 bees. How much after 5 weeks? Analysis gsolve ycalc when x equals 5. Okay, gives me 242 to the nearest population to whole bees, so round to whole bees. So that's going to be 242, and after 50 weeks, that's going to be 399. The newly built, how many does it house? 400, because it's an asymptote at b equals 400. Graph the number of bees against time showing appropriate features, round population to whole bees. So I can now draw this. I've got b equals 400, I've got 106, and I've got other features like 50 and 399. T, b of t is an appropriate graph.